Hi y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alexandra, aka the not so evil stepmother, which is too perfect for today because we are going to be reviewing the newly released, and I mean just released today, Disney Villains Misunderstood Eyeshadow Palette by Colourpop. Now, I have been waiting all week long for this palette to release. I mean, you guys know, first off, I'm a little bit of an eyeshadow whore. Secondly, I love Disney and I just live for the villains. You guys know, I kind of root for the villains. And third, Misunderstood, I mean, that's my middle name. So did it live up to my expectations or not? Let's find out all that and more. Grab our makeup wipes and get on into it. Alright guys, welcome back. Let's talk about this palette. So a little bit about it. It does retail for $22. You can get it on Colourpop's website as well as Ulta stores and Ulta.com. Now I will tell you, my Ulta, the Ultas around where I live, there was only one store that actually had these in stock. They are extremely limited quantity, so this is kind of a limited time only palette. Colourpop did say once they get sold, they are not making any more. So if you are interested in getting it, I would definitely get on it. Now, I actually only paid $19.75 for mine after tax because I used my $3.50 off Ulta's coupon. So those do work towards these palettes. So little tip for you guys, you know, I'm always trying to save you all some money. Anywho, now this basically is the alternative version to the Disney Princesses palette that Colourpop put out in 2018. A lot of people were complaining that the Disney Princesses shadows were a little too safe. There weren't enough pops of color. So Colourpop answered with this bad boy. And I was super excited to see all the different shades in there. There are some really, really pretty shades, including this purple that I currently have on my eyes, which I am living for. You guys just don't even know. So anyways, I will show you guys the packaging. This is the outside packaging. It just has Disney Villains, Misunderstood, Colourpop. As you guys can see, when you tilt it in the light, all things villainess on the front here and the top and the back. And then of course, all the names of the shades on the back of the outside packaging, which I appreciate. And I also appreciate the fact that they also put the shades on the actual palette itself. So if you lose this carton, it's okay. Your shade names are still here on the back. Now on the front of the palette here, of course, it says Misunderstood, Disney Villains, Colourpop, and it's got all these little pictures here of all things Disney villains. They're all scenes from different Disney villain movies. And I mean, I just was super excited about this palette and I was hoping that it really wouldn't disappoint. So I will tell you a little bit about the actual palette itself, and I'll show you the inside. Now there is no mirror. Again, it's a $22 palette, but here's the shades. As you guys can see, I've kind of already dug into them there, and I'll put a picture up here and go over the shade names with you guys as I'm swatching them. Now, this one here is called No Spots, and it's very white. I actually have it up on the top here, and I will just show you guys that right there. And it does, you know, come out very, very white there. And I will say that most of these shades do blend very, very, very well. Now that is one of the matte shadows. The other one is this dark tan here, which is Devious. And I will show you guys that. And I'll put that right there next to No Spot so you guys can see that. And then the other one is Tragic, which I will show you guys right there, and I'll put that right next to Devious so you guys can see. Now that is kind of very close to my skin tone, as you guys can tell. Tragic and Devious make great transition shades, and I was really, really happy that they threw those in there. And I do actually have Tragic on as my transition shade today. Now, as you guys can see, there is definitely a little bit of fallout from this palette, which is not, you know, new to Colourpop colors. So the other two mattes is the Fates here. Now I will tell you, this did, as you can see, it looks very dark, and this is definitely very, very, very pigmented. And I was really surprised. Blues don't normally blend out that well, especially the outsides of it. But as you can see there, it actually blended out very, very nicely. But if you wanted that dark, dark blue, you definitely need to pack on the color. You definitely have to go back in there a couple of times. And then last but not least for the mattes is this black here, this 101. As you guys can see that right there. And I will put that right next to the Fates. If you guys don't know what the Fates is, those were the three witches in Hercules. Loving it. So, and this definitely is a very, very black. And again, definitely blended out really well. And if you want the super black, you definitely have to dig back into it a couple of times. Now, we're gonna take a moment here. I'm gonna wipe all this off and swatch the rest of these. I will show you guys this real fast. So as I'm trying to wipe everything off with my little wipe here, as you can see, it does kind of stain a little bit. So, you know, definitely get a very good makeup remover when you are removing these. Now, I've been playing in this palette all day long, so I will tell you, I didn't really have any problems removing it from my eyes, but I've got a really good, you know, eye makeup remover. So just a little tip for you guys. Let's talk about the rest of these shadows. All right, guys, getting into the rest of these shades. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of shimmer shades in here, which I was really, really happy with, but there were some of them that actually really surprised me. I thought they were gonna be really shimmery, and they ended up being kind of a matte, it's matte-ish, I should say, or, you know, I thought it like blendable. Like usually shimmer shades are not blendable, and some of these really were. So the one that I really want to point out here is this Forest of Thorns right here in the center, which I actually have as my second transition shade, and that's that beautiful purple that you see there in the center. And I mean, this was just such a pretty color, and it looks, as you can see, very metallic, but when you put it on, I mean, it just, oh my God, it just blended so seamlessly and so perfectly, and I just couldn't help but just kept going back into it, okay? The other shades that I have on is this Flotsam right here, and I have that more towards the inside of my eye, and I'll show you guys that. I guess I should have showed it to you on my finger before I put it on my hand here. And there it is on my hand. It's kind of like a pinky, like metallic-y kind of shade there. See, it kind of like goes in your skin and then bam, hits the light and it's like bam. All right, and then the other one that I have is Mongrels, which is this right here. And I have this on the inner corner of my eyes. And I'm gonna put that right next to Forest of Thorns. And that same thing, it's kind of like a pinky, goldish pinky kind of highlighty color, and you could probably use those, either one of these, either Mongrels or Flotsam for like a highlight, because I mean, they're just very pretty, and I mean, just hit the light and they're like, bam, okay? And then last but not least, what I have on the outside corner there is this shade right here, which is called Sing. Now, this was a shade that I kind of had some issues with. When you look at it in the pan itself, it looks like a very metallic-y kind of purple color, but when you actually swatch it and put it on the lid, it is not. It is something totally different. So it like kind of comes out, it's got like black undertone to it. You see that? And it's like when the light hits it, you can see that purpley color, but then it's got like a very, just like I said, kind of black underneath and then purple sparkly flecks in it. It's really, really pretty, and it works great on the outside. Now I will tell you, definitely need some MAC Fix Plus for that shade, all right? Let's wipe these off and swatch the rest. All right, guys, moving right along. So Jetsam, Facile, and Revenge are all kind of like blue and green kind of colors, as you can see there. So Revenge, This is like a black metallic color, and it definitely comes off very black, very sparkly. And this is kind of like that purple Forest of Thorns. When you put it on, it's kind of like the black matte with just sparkles in it. You know, it's not a shimmer shade, and it definitely does blend out very, very well. So Jetsam is definitely like Sing, and I'll show you Jetsam in the pan there. It's a very sparkly blue, and it is definitely a shimmer shade, but when you actually put it on, it kind of comes off like a silvery purple kind of color. And I'll just swatch it again. So yeah, you definitely have to pack that on. And then as you do, it kind of looks more of the grayish blue color there, you see. All right, moving right along. So Facilier here is this pretty green, and it is definitely a shimmer shade. I'll show you guys that right there. And it is very, very pretty. Both of these you definitely need some Matte Fix Plus with, or just put them on your finger and then apply, okay? And then let's see, let's do this Underworld right here, which I'll show you in the pan. It looks very goldish kind of. But again, this is like a really surprising one. When you put it on, it's like very copper, like more than it is a gold. It's definitely copper. And this one you don't need Matte Fix Plus for. Now this Pain and Panic right here, now that one definitely looks a lot more gold than the Underworld there. And it shows up just how it looks in the pan. So some of these, when they look, the way they look in the pan is exactly how they look on you, but the rest of them, it's like, you know, you have to like dig into them a couple of times. But all in all, you guys, I was really, really impressed with the blendability of this palette. The fact that it had transition shades in it. So the very last shade that we have here is Diablo, which is super, super gold. And I was kind of interested the fact that they picked this name for this very gold color, because Diablo, as you guys know, is the raven in the movie Maleficent. So let me wash these off and I will give you guys my final review. All right guys, so final thoughts for the Misunderstood palette. Truthfully, this thing kind of blew me away. I enjoyed it a lot more than I originally thought that I did. So when I first saw these colors on Colourpop's site and when they were talking about it and releasing it, I was like, okay, so I get it. You got to come up with the pops of color because everybody was dissing, you know, the princess shades and they were saying they were too safe. So I get it. And I really didn't think that I was going to get a lot of use out of this palette or a lot of looks out of it, but I still wanted it because it was the Disney Villains palette. But saying that, after playing with it today and getting into all the colors, and truth be told, I literally got into every color of this palette today, with the exception of this Diablo right here. That's the only one that I did not get into, but the rest of them I played in today. And I really enjoyed it, and I honestly was very, very surprised with the number of looks that I could create with this palette, especially with these two transition shades right here. Having those transition shades, and I know I've said this to you guys before, really makes or breaks a palette. And honestly, I could, like, just putting those two on my eyes and buffing them out, I could have left the house just with those on. They were that beautiful. And this shade right here, this Forest of Thorns, blew me away, like absolutely surprised the hell out of me, and just was absolutely beautiful, and I was living for it. And so of course I had to do a purple eye today for this video with that, because it blew me away. So all in all, I was really impressed with this palette. It definitely has that Colourpop quality. I know with some palettes it's hit or miss, but with this one it was definitely a hit for me. The quality was there, the pigmentation was there, the blendability was there. I mean, I cannot wait to come up with some more looks with these colors and this palette, and I'm really excited to have it now in my collection. So you guys let me know down below, are you going to go get this palette? Are you interested in it? Are you guys interested in me maybe creating a tutorial or a look with this palette, you know, a get ready with me or something like that? Let me know. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Y'all know I like to make you happy. So anyways, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, be sure to do so. I've got a clickable link on one of these two corners. I'm not for sure which one, but one of these corners here. And yeah, if you're interested in more videos, I will put a couple at the end of this one for you guys to click on. And of course, love you guys so much. I hope you all have a great night.